Awesome. It looks like we're maybe having an audio problem, so I'm trying to fix that. No, I think it's us, but I just changed something. So we can hear some birds. We just hear some birds. I don't know what that means exactly, but hold on one second. There's sound coming through, but it's not from the stream. That is so weird. I hear a squeaking sound. That can't be good. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can hear you now. Okay. Oh, thank God. Okay. I don't know what that squeaking was or what the deal was with the audio, but okay. Oh no. They can hear me, but not anyone else. Oh no. No, they said I can hear you, but not the other guys. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Can you guys talk?
Testing.
Let's see if the audio works now.
Test.
Even rap. Even rap. That'd be preferred. Do it.
Okay, hold on. LinkedIn is a little bit behind, so trying to see. No, what is going on?
Let's just start ripping them.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys can dial. I'll just see what I can do on
Dial
this
and
end.
smile. They'll see your smiles.
Yeah.
So just
And shout out to
Smiles
okay. It
and
says
my
loud and
dials.
clear, everyone. Amazing.
Perfect.
Okay. It's working now.
And shout out to TeamFlow, the sponsor for this. They're phenomenal. They have this team room that you see, calling and dialing. They have a new product with call intelligence, which is spectacular as well.
And thank you guys so much in the audience for letting us know that you can't hear and then who you can hear, because it's super helpful. But all right, since everyone missed our introductions, let's just do them again really fast. Your name, your company, your favorite
It's only
candy.
6 minutes after. We were fast.
Yeah, exactly. If you're here in the audience, thank you so much for being here and bearing with our audio issues. My name is Adriana. I'm the community manager here at RevGenius. I'm super excited to be a part of live cold calling. Tom is first on my screen, so I'll let you introduce yourself first. You have some very strong opinions about candy corn that may cause some arguing in the chat. So put in the chat how you feel about candy corn. Tom, go ahead.
But before we get going, shout out TeamFlow for being awesome sponsors. This is a TeamFlow instance we're in. You want to learn more about it, hit us up, hit them up. They're great people with a great product.
Love TeamFlow. Con Slocum, founder of my own company called the SD Lab. About 5 months in, working with founders and early stage companies and helping them deploy go-to-market motions and improve their reps. And our conversation was, what's your favorite candy, right? And I had said Snickers or an Almond Joy. I do like coconut and almond, but I wanted to stir some people up because candy corn is like my jam. I know it's only in October, but I would love to eat it all year long. I buy multiple bags, and I'm a big fan. So yeah, candy corn.
Lizzie says I'm down for the objection handling on candy corn.
Yes, there you go.
It. Awesome. Aaron?
Yes, Aaron Wallace, SDR at Chili Piper. We help automate people's inbound process. And I was the first to say Reese's. Gavin copied me. There's no evidence that says otherwise now. But yes, big Reese's lover.
Awesome. Jared?
Bunch of crunch with popcorn. I'm Jared. I'm co-founder of RevGenius. So happy to be here for this cold calling. If I'm eating popcorn with tons of butter, either Bunch of Crunch or Butterfinger, the new Butterfinger, not the old one. I've always been a fan of watermelon Jolly Ranchers. And I'm not really eating much candy now, though. But I would have a watermelon Jolly Rancher right now if someone brought it. Reese's peanut butter cups are my favorite, though. Specifically, the cups, the pieces I went in and out of love with. In and out, depending on the time.
It's a fling. Yeah, you weren't in love with it.
Because it's good, but it's not like necessary all the time.
The chat has questions about a new Butterfinger. What has changed?
So the old Butterfingers, Tom knows, right? The old ones, when you used to eat it, it would get stuck in your teeth for hours and sometimes days. And it was so delicious, but like you just kept chewing. The new one cuts through faster. It's probably it breaks down easier, and they also have the small pieces, so you don't have to eat the full bar. So you'd have this full bar, and every bite would be the most tasteful bite. And you'd be like, I can't eat it again because like I should be eating it at the dentist as I'm about to get my cavities replaced. The new one, I don't know if it's healthier, but it's easier to eat.
Yeah, you just throw it in. You take literally like one bite, and you're already done.
It's like a normal candy versus. Tom, you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The old Butterfinger, I just couldn't eat it a lot. The new one, I can.
I feel like my back teeth are like. I just feel like I need to like pick at them right now. You know?
Have you had a Butterfinger circa 2005?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like now I'll be right back. I have to pick them out of my teeth, even though I haven't had one in forever.
Oh yeah,
my Butterfingers.
That's the only reason that held me back from not eating Butterfinger after Butterfinger was the teeth experience.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, Gavin. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from a company called Rattle. If you want to find out about Rattle, let me know. I know a guy, but my favorite candy is a king size Reese's Fast Break. Has to be a king size. The small size just isn't enough, but 2 of the small sizes is too much. Has to be a king size Reese's Fast Break. Or as I was saying earlier, the Nerds has this new, they're like gummy bites. Forget about it.
Nice.
It's unreal.
All right, guys. We're going to break. Pick your pods. Start dialing. I will see you in there.
Rev your engines. Gentlemen, rev your engines.
We need like a little race car flag or something for future live streams. Yeah.
I just want the sound. Like the radio sound.
Awesome.
And then there were 2.
Yeah.
What's your favorite candy?
I do love Reese's, but I like whichever ones have like double the peanut butter than they normally have. Because I'm not a big chocolate person, but sugary peanut butter, like I could eat that all day. No problem.
It's funny. And if you want to go into snack foods in general, Oreos is like a lifelong whatever. I can't eat double the inside because there's something about the ratio being off that throws me.
Gotcha. So yeah, I do like Oreos, but only if I have milk. It can't just be 100%. Like the plain cookies. Weird. But snack foods, oh my God, Ruffle chips, the like sour cream and onion Ruffle chips.
Really?
I could eat like 5 bags of those in one day.
I used to eat like really well. And then one day a week, I would eat what I'd call a rack of Oreos. And if you know, you know, like just like a rack in one of those cases or a single thing. And I think that was roughly 12 Oreos. And I would just like throw one in the milk, eat it, have the next one waiting until I finished it.
Yeah.
And it would already
That's
be
the way to do it. Exactly.
You can't have it waiting too long because it gets weird.
Yeah.
I don't like removing the crunch. I just like adding the milk, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to like acclimate it to the milk. Lizzie says, I just learned they made a keto-friendly, soy-free, and gluten-free Oreo. And it's fantastic.
Is it by Nabisco? Or is it by... Because I've had something like an Oreo by Catalina Crunch, I think. If you know Catalina Crunch, it's a keto thing. It's like a $10 box of Oreos, but they are good.
Yeah.
They are good. If they weren't good, I wouldn't have done it
for sure.
Twice.
Alrighty, let's go hang out in Tom's room. Check out what he's doing first.
Heck yeah.
Hey, Tom.
What's up, y'all? How we doing?
Good, good.
How's it going?
Just here to
Good.
spy on you.
Why did the cold
Of course.
caller go to the doctor, Tom?
Did you like that?
I'm just reading it now.
They needed a shot of confidence before their next call.
Oh,
No, I took the picture with Adriana and them, and I was like, it's going to be weird. I'm going to be taking a content photo while we're talking. But yeah, I posted it. Just
what a
to
nice
share.
setup.
Yeah. It's not as cool as my man in the arena poster, but I do like my new octopus. My new octopus photo I got. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, are you ripping them?
I am. Yeah, I'm dialed in. About 20 dials deep so far.
Is your dialer ringing? I don't think I'm getting that audio.
Yeah, we're not.
No,
getting
mine
audio.
doesn't.
Okay.
There. Hey, Peter.
Hello.
Hey, Peter. Tom Slocum over at the SD Lab. How have you been?
I'm doing fine. What can I do for you?
I was reaching out to you. I understand that you're the chief marketer over at Customer Engines. Is that right?
Customer Engines is a one-person consulting firm. That's me.
Hey, that's what I do.
So
Awesome.
I'm the chief everything.
There you go. You got all the hats. Are you at a point? You've been doing that for like 14 years, by the way. Congratulations. I'm like 5 months in on my own journey. So to see that you're at 14 years kind of doing your own show, that is very impressive. Are you looking to go outbound and start scaling that and get to more people, or are you just going to continue running as a one-person show?
I will continue to run as a one-person show. So basically contract fee one-touch stuff. So if I'm working for a client, then I will direct what they do to spend their budget. But I have no intention of scaling what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I won't take much more of your time then. I'm running a consultancy agency as well. I'm a one-person show, but I help orgs deploy an outbound motion or consult them, like you said, advice, guide them, show them how to adapt into some things. But since you're doing your one thing, really no need for that. So I will let you go, and I appreciate you taking some time to chat with me today.
Okay, no problem.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Got to get that list cleaner.
What's the perfect company for you to focus on with what you do?
For me, it's those early founder companies where they're just about a year in, or they're up to about Series B, where they do have an established team with a couple SDRs on there, and they're looking to either build out their motion, their outbound, or they're looking to improve and scale on it. So those are that's my ICP is founders, co-founders, or VP of sales is typically who I've seen much success with when I'm getting into Series A or Series B, talking to them about what challenge are you seeing in the space right now? Where are you trying to improve your team? If it's process, people, or tech, it's kind of where I dabble with. But yeah, that's like my people. But sometimes when I look up co-founders or founders, they're just their own company, just like I am. And, so I'll get that data and I'm like, oh man, like it's just one person too. Like, hey, nice to see you. I'm doing the same thing.
Do you have so you reach out to the founder, smart. Are you looking for people without sales teams or sales teams under like X number of people in particular?
Anywhere between 1 and 5 is a nice sweet spot, or 0 to 5, right? My real sweet spot is maybe they don't have a team at all. Talking to them about getting prepared for that. Adriana, you've went through some companies, right, where they bring in that early SDR hire and it's just not there yet. They're looking for that player coach to come in and do all this stuff. And not everybody's equipped to do that. So I come in before then, want to support that founder. They're just, been them and the co-founder for the past year, working on network referrals, and driving inbound, but now they've got to move outbound. So set them up with a playbook, a process, and the right tech, to where then Adriana or myself could then come in and now optimize that and run fast with, a full outbound motion. Basically give them that proof of concept before they bring in an SDR and burn and turn them every 3 months. And they're like, these SDRs are terrible. And it's like, no, you are. You're not set up. So let me help you, right, and set you up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a good place to be. It's fun. There's a lot of business right now. It's a lot of opportunity. Outbound has gotten harder, as we all know. And there's a lot of challenges to it. And it also just keeps me on my toes because in order to be, a great consultant or advisor, like I have to be in the right places. I have to know what's going on, and I have to really keep a pulse on what's happening. And that's why I'm here, right? That's why when Adriana hits me up, I'm like, yeah, let me come a cold call. Let me come hang out with some other
You can
folks
hang
and
out with
just-
us every single week, Tom.
What was Amelia's record? She went like 13 weeks, Jared. I'll go like 15.
I think so,
That's
something
fine.
like that. Yeah.
Just keep running every week. But that's why, right? I like to work with SDRs. I like to still keep my pulse on it and just understand because that's what these companies need, right? They're like, we don't know what's going on. And it's really crazy how some of them are so dinosaurs, like way, way dinosaur to where they're like 2015 days, 2016 days, they're still doing their thing. And it's like, oof, you have no idea. So I show them one piece of tech and they're like, whoa.
For sure. Okay, do we want to maybe jump over to Gavin or Aaron? See what they're up to. We'll be back, Tom.
See y'all. Thanks for
Go
stopping
to Aaron.
by.
The reason I'm calling is relevant. If you got a second. Hey, so I see you're the business development manager for Open Tech Alliance. Is that still accurate? When I speak with like business development managers, typically they focus on, it's either they're leading a team of business development representatives, or they're really focused on just advancing the business from a revenue standpoint. Are either of those assumptions wrong, or are they correct? Or Gotcha. So you're not leading a team or anything of like BDRs or anything like that. Gotcha. So you're kind of just like, a quota slinging. I see. Man, sounds good. Gotcha. Oh, for sure. Quick question before I even like reach into that. I won't say your name or anything. Actually, I have two questions. One, I feel like I've reached out to Bill Hoffman before. This is a random question, and you might not know the answer to that, but was he a wrestler at one point? Okay, so the only reason I asked that is I feel like I see cauliflower in his picture. I was also a wrestler, so I was wondering if we could like relate on that. But then my second question is are you guys using Slack or Microsoft Teams in Salesforce as your CRM? Word. Oh, cool, man. Sounds good. Hey, thanks for that information, Patrick. Hope you have a great Q1. Okay, cheers, man.
Kevin, can you just update your audio setting really quick? Because we weren't able to hear the other side of the call.
How do you
just go to share screen at the bottom and then click share audio only, and then just your dialer tab.
Okay, so remember that's weird because I've done it before,
and
it's in incognito mode, so I can't select that tab. But it's always been in incognito mode, so I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, but that is weird because we were able to hear you last week.
Yeah.
It just won't let you select it at all now.
Well, I didn't even call. Oh wait, here we go. Here we go. Got it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, it just came on. Yay! Amazing.
Yeah. Microsoft Dynamics. Oof. Yikes. That one hurts. That doesn't hurt me. That just hurts everybody else involved. Oof.
Why were you asking about the guy being a wrestler?
Because he's the CRO. I thought in his profile picture he has cauliflower ear. Like that's just like a telltale sign of a wrestler. And I was like, oh man, if I could like relate to him on that level, then like there's the relationship. Let's get the ball rolling.
That's funny. Okay.
We'll
let you get back to dialing.
No, you're good. That's just called a classic strikeout. Swing and a miss, if you will.
That's
Happens
a
to us
bold bet.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you got to swing the bat hard if you're going to hit home run. You know what I mean? Jared, you know
Gavin, tell me yes or no. Were you at the Olympics in 1992 in Japan? Because you look exactly like this person that
Let's
I had lunch at the airport with for 13.5 minutes.
Let's be honest. What's your credit score? Come on.
And
is that a qualification question, or are you just curious? I just want to know. I just want to know who I'm
Oh
talking
my gosh.
What's your AOL email right now?
What's your MySpace page? What's your background music on MySpace?
Already
Should we
looked?
go into
Yeah.
Aaron?
Let's go check out what Aaron's doing. Hey, Aaron.
Boo.
Oh, goodness, that scared me. Yeah, I'm
How good the
not
dials?
getting not great, not getting any pickups.
It does happen.
What's your percentage ratio do you see of connects for connects?
I really feel like it just depends on the day. Like yesterday, I made like 10 dials and I had 2 pickups and booked 2 meetings. And then today, I feel like I've rolled out 20 and haven't had anybody pick up. I would say it's usually, I think in sales ops, it's around 7 to 8% overall.
I've been hearing like that 7 to 8% being like pretty on point with at least like a handful of people out of a handful of people.
That seems to be the norm, but like I know last week I didn't make a whole lot of dials, but 2 weeks ago I made quite a bit. And like the first day I had like a 15 to 20% connect rate, and then like the rest of the week it was like 2%. And so
it averaged out to 7 to 8.
Yeah, I mean it really came in waves. So I don't know. But
you ringing now?
Thank you for calling eBuilder.
There we go.
Yeah. No, I was one thing. I mean, I guess every company has their own thing, but for Chili Piper, I really like to have their demo form pulled up. I'm calling them, so after each company, I'm kind of going to look for the next company's demo form. Because the last thing I want to do is be like, notice your demo form.
Thank you for calling eBuilder, a Trimble company.
I'm trying to do that. And maybe like a contact sales form or something like that. And I've already just.
Cool. So you look at people that might not be set up optimally for that.
Yeah. I mean, the ideal CTA is a requested demo or contact sales. Like obviously those are people who are wanting to book a meeting with you. If it's just that typical contact us, like those people generally are not trying to book a meeting. Maybe it's a call or an email or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But a demo, you want that actual meeting. But I like to have it in front of me because some people's demo form might have like 3 or 4 fields, and whereas some people's has a really in-depth demo form, which means that they're probably using that for routing and qualifying and things like that, which kind of plays more into our favor.
Lizzie in the chat asked a question saying, are you sourcing your own lists or are these warm leads from an existing pipeline?
These are people that I've reached out to. So they probably, these people have gotten 1 or 2 emails from me. Typically I'll add them to a list and send emails and then try and call. I wanted to make a list that was a little more, people who had maybe been engaging and stuff, but with the ice storm the last 2 days, I've had my kids at home and it's been chaos, and that did not happen. So we're just rolling with the flow.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Let's check out a few of the other rooms. I just want to stay on top of like connects and stuff.
What's up, gang?
We're back.
We're back. Well, you're back.
Oh, I'm not seeing your video.
I know. I'm having issues.
Oh.
I'm messing with my mic, and one thing I have to buy is with Macs, you have to get docks for everything.
Yeah.
And my dock is like from 2017, so a little old. And so when I like even touch it a hair, the camera will like shut off. So, yeah, I gotta buy a new one of those. Had another Connect, but my data was wrong on that one too. running into some data today. This guy the name was right, but all of the info was on another human being, like with the same name. And I was like, hey, Jason. He's like, yeah, this is me, but I don't do any of that. I've worked in the oil field for the last 3 years. And I'm like, oh. So we chatted for like 10 minutes, but it was not the ideal.
I think that's happened to everyone, but my favorite experiences with like wrong data was one person who had the same name, did not work at a tech company, was a warden at a prison. And then another time, well, there have been a bunch of times where I've like connected with people's parents. But there was one time when like, I think it was actually Ronan was dialing with me. And when I worked at Stylo, and the mom like gave her the daughter's phone number, like work number and everything, and was like, oh yeah, like reach out to her. I'm sure she'll think this is so cool. It was so funny.
Did she think it was cool?
Yeah, I think he might have booked the meeting later. I don't totally remember, but I know it was like a positive interaction.
I had that happen. I was calling a VP of marketing. Hey, Jessica.
Yeah.
Hey, Jessica. Tom Slocum over at the SD Lab. How have you been?
What lab?
The SD. S is in Sam, D is in dog.
Ah.
Yes.
Do we know each other?
We do not. This is a cold call, so I appreciate you picking it up real quick. But yeah, we've never had an interaction. But the reason I was calling is I saw that you were the CEO over at Adoptimize, and I was just wanting to see if you're doing anything in regards to an outbound motion for what you have going on, with the sales team, helping you drive more conversations to, get people generating high quality pet photos, right? And using you guys. Are you trying to go after users in 2023 and grow that base?
Well, to be honest, one, I appreciate you looking at what we actually do, because good job. That's a barrier. But honestly, we are powering our company down. There's just not enough demand for it among the animal shelters, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So you're going to be scaling it back a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer, because it does really sound like a cool product, and especially with AI coming out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it saves lives because it gets more pets adopted, but there's just not, it's not easy enough to use for the shelters, or fast enough for them to be able to use it in their intake process. So,
any ways to adapt that or go back to the drawing board? And do you feel like you could get another iteration?
Expensive.
Yeah,
it's too expensive.
Right, the return is just not there for the the risk of
right,
and putting in the time.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's a bummer. It happens. You go out and test something you see, and if it can't grab that attention, it's smart to scale back, right? But bummer. It sounds like it's a cool idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I will let you go.
I'll see you later.
I'll talk to you soon.
Have a good career in life.
You too. See ya.
Oh, this is cute. I'm on their website.
Bummer, man. That was cool. Yeah. Sometimes you get great connection with people and it just doesn't work out. And those ones I think are like the ones that hurt my heart the most, is where like you do they open up, they're willing to talk to you. There's this great conversation, but hey, we can't do anything for each other. It's like, cool, best of luck. And you're like, man, why couldn't you have needed me and been that cool at the same time? You don't get one or the other. It's hard to get both. You always get one or the other. They're a jerk and they need your product, or they're, don't need your product and they're the sweetest people. And you're like,
for sure. Right. Like, I will pay you to be my client.
Right? Like, hey, do you need some help getting that out there? Maybe we'll just do some cold calling. I'll call some of the SaaS company. Maybe people like their dog photos. We'll do something here. How can I help you?
Like, we'll find another investor. Like, let's make it happen.
Right. That's what I was like. Are you going back to the drawing board? Like, that's cool. And she's like, no, I'm done. Like, I'm out. It's not working. And I was like, okay.
It's a bummer.
But back to my story, right? And your point of, I called the VP of marketing and I got the dad, senior, not the actual like son that I was calling. It went to his dad's phone and we talked for like 20 minutes and he was like, what are you calling my son for? What do you want to talk about? And I was like, this and what he's doing. He's like, okay, I'm going to nudge him. I'll get in touch with him. And I was like, cool. And I kind of went about my day like, that's not going to happen. I sent my email to the son and I even referenced like, hey, I actually called you, your dad, you're probably going to hear about it, but this is what I was calling for. And later that day, the son called me and the dad had opened a text message up with me and his son. It was like, I had a great conversation with Tom, just talk to him. I don't know if there's something there, but I just really liked his approach and like what he's saying. and I got a meeting. But it was
Wow.
because I accidentally called the senior and got a good connect, kind of like that conversation, just kind of, shooting the breeze with the dad. And he actually delivered. He was like, I love the call so much. Like, you better take this call. Like, go talk to this guy. And so it ended up being an op, ended up opening up, and it was really cool. But it was an accident. I called senior. He had his dad's number on there, not his. And yeah.
That is awesome.
Sometimes it happens.
We do have a question from Lizzie who asked, where are you getting your data from?
Ooh, the big question. What am I using and what am I into? So I'm using for me, I've always believed in not putting all my eggs in one data provider. It's just kind of going across multiple. They have so many free credits in some of these tools. My main bread and butter is ZoomInfo. I've been using ZoomInfo since 2013. So it's just like all I know. But then I get into Apollo. Apollo is a new one. Jared knows. Like I dig Apollo a little bit. The RevGenius team, Seamless, right? We've used Seamless.
Sure.
But my main one is ZoomInfo. I really dig ZoomInfo. It's got some good data for me. Mobile, I would probably say is 60% of the way. 60% of what I can upload, I can get a decent mobile number. But again, today I had 3 calls. So I have 660 people on this list that I uploaded into Connect and Sell. That's what I'm dialing through. And 3 conversations have been, the connect was there, they picked up, but they're not, the data wasn't right. There's a mix up in what profiles and names are connected. But if you've seen any other live cold calling events, I have a really good list. Like I do pretty well and I don't have data issues, but yeah, sometimes you have them.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Alrighty,
we hop
Jared.
into Gavin?
Sure.
See y'all soon.
We're back.
Knock, knock.
Yo, that's good.
This is a cold call. You have a minute?
It was a cold team flow, cold video.
This is a cold team flow.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine?
Actually, not understood. Thank you. And just jump in another pod. Gotcha.
Do you think ZoomInfo is accurate though? What fields do you enjoy using for filters? Lizzie said.
Yeah.
You use ZoomInfo, Gavin?
Yes.
Do you feel like it's accurate? The data's good?
How many people are watching this right now?
Fair.
I mean, maybe don't say anything too horrible, but your honest opinion.
What fields do you enjoy using for the filters that like you have the most success
I enjoy
with?
using emails and mobile numbers. Hey, Davina, it's Gavin DeWitt. You got a minute?
Who is this?
It's Gavin DeWitt, calling from a company called Rattle. You got a minute?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. What was that one more time?
I'm calling from a company called Rattle. It's Gavin DeWitt. You got a minute?
What are you calling for?
So I know that SciComp is using Salesforce and Slack. I actually spoken to a few people like Ruben Lee, Catherine Cook, Ryan Ambrowski. And I kind of heard in their voice, like when we were talking, that there's some pain around getting information inside Salesforce. Feel like when I speak with sales ops people, they're the ones that are kind of dealing with that information. Is that something that's accurate in your role, or am I missing the mark?
I don't know if but it's kind of cutting out. So what are you calling from?
Calling from a company called Rattle.
So that
Did you hear me there?
Not really. Do you mind giving me a call back and then I'll pick up again because I cut the other word.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. I'll do that right now.
Do it.
I'm gonna call her back on SalesLoft to see if that was better.
Or on your cell phone.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. You just put her on speaker, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cell phone, the underrated tool in your arsenal that you don't use enough.
Boom. There we go. I was like, it's not ringing. What the heck?
It's too cold in that room. It's freezing the reception.
Hey, Davina. Is it better?
Me?
Yeah. Is that better? It's Gavin DeWitt. We just got off.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, cool. Hey, so I promise I'll be brief. The
I couldn't make out anything you were saying.
no, you're good. I totally understand. For some reason I was like down to my computer and it was being weird. But anyways, I promise I'll be brief. I was calling from a company called Rattle. The reason I'm reaching out to you specifically is I've spoken to a few salespeople on your guys' team at SciComp, and I know you guys are using Salesforce, and I know you guys are using Slack and Teams, but typically you're using Slack for internal communication. Typically when I call into sales ops teams, what Rattle is an integration between Salesforce and Slack, so that your sales rep, like you won't ever have to chase a sales rep ever again to update their CRM or log call notes or advance something through the pipeline or whatever it may be. Is that something that's relative or relevant in your sales ops role, or am I missing the mark there?
I mean, not too much.
Yeah.
I'm not reaching out to them to like update stuff that I like need them to, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nothing that I could say right now.
Yeah, for sure. Is there a gap in the process? Like, because I mean, even if it's not Rattle related, like I'd love to kind of like consult you on that. Is there like a gap in the process that you feel like exists between the sales team and the sales ops team?
I mean, we have. No, I mean, not really. I'm pretty close, like to be able to communicate and talk to them. Nothing that I can identify right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't really have like the best answers for
No, you're good.
at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. I'm checking it out online right now.
Yeah, whenever you while you're looking at it, like, do you have any questions I can answer you like for you on the fly? Would it make any sense to take like a deeper dive into it sometime next week, or?
I mean, I'll check it out and share with my team, but nothing that I could like identify right now, really.
For sure.
It seems like a really cool platform.
Super cool platform. Even best part about it is it's not a platform. It's just something that sits in the background. So it's not like another login that you guys have to remember, anything like that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, this you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. This is my cell phone. So feel free to let me know if there's any questions you have. If it comes up in the next 30 seconds or 30 days, feel free to reach out whenever, but I'll follow up and, sometime next month and see if it makes sense for us to pursue a conversation if I don't hear from you.
Okay. Sounds good.
Cool. Thanks,
Thank
Davina.
you.
Have a good day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Dang it. I had some good conversations.
What you did there that I liked was you reached out to multiple stakeholders or multiple people at the company, whether they're stakeholders or not, to like understand the lay of the land. So it's hyper relevant for her.
Yeah.
You knew the parts of her stack with confidence that they have and they use and how they use them. That's something you can't find without talking to people. And because of that, I truly believe it, mostly because of that, and because she owed you a phone call after the bad reception, but she gave you her time.
Yeah.
And it probably honestly wasn't a fit because she thought it was kind of cool and she like went to the site. So she was like, she was giving it like as fair of a shake as you could on a cold call.
Yeah. And the thing that's cool about that is now I know, like I've talked to 2 sales ops specialists for that company now, and it just doesn't seem like a fit. So like if I'm 2 for 2 on people who are like in our persona, like I'm probably not going to waste any more time on that account,
Or you reach out to people higher up, right? Like, because here's the other school of thought. They're like that because it's not a priority yet. And, but it should be, right? Like, and maybe there's a CRO that sits above them that just doesn't realize it or feels it and doesn't know how to fix it. So like, I would consider adding higher up the chain and just be like, hey, I spoke to a lot of people. This is a challenge. Is this something that you care about now?
Yeah. It's a good word, man.
There was, I worked for an early stage company once, first 50 employee, they got acquired twice. And on top of I was not a part of that. I was leaving too early. On top of the VP, and that was seamless.com that I just ordered my lunch from before. They were bought by Grubhub most recently. Above the VP of sales desk was if you, and it's kind of like a silly saying now, like, but at the time it was cool. But if you get a no, you're speaking to the wrong person. We all know that there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
But like that is potentially part of it, right? Like it's not the end all be all. Granted, we've realized there's nuances and stuff, but realize that could be part of it.
For
Because
sure.
Gavin, you're spot on with it. They still have a problem. You just need to speak to somebody that realizes it or can be convinced to realize it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then champion it.
All right, let's go pop by Aaron's room.
Thank you for listening. TED Talk done.
I love it. Jared talk.
Whose room, Aaron?
Yeah. We're back.
Boo.
Hey, we finally had a conversation.
How was it?
How'd it go? Yeah.
It was good. It was you're a tad bit early. Reach out, next month. But she was like, we are just now evaluating processes, and we're probably going to change some things, but it's too early. Tried to see if we could get something penciled in for the end of the month, but she was like, I know what you're doing, and no, just reach out.
How do you like to try to overcome that when someone is like, oh, call me back in like 30 days?
Yeah. I mean, like typically, like I'm just kind of like, would it make sense to pencil in some time, for that time? And then if, as we get closer, if you need to reschedule or anything like that, we can do that.
Mhm.
But, it's just, and I'll, say something along the lines of, how tough it is to get a hold of somebody. Again, the typical line that I think we all see on LinkedIn. And I'm still, I'm not the best at cold calling. I would say I'm still fairly new at it. Really didn't do it much my first 3 months. Just started doing it more the last month or two. So there's a lot for me to learn in that situation.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like even if you've been cold calling for a really long time, it's like every call is always a little bit different. So it's like, I don't think you ever really feel like you 100% know what you're doing. At least I never did. Maybe someone out there does.
I'm not a super pushy person. Like, there'll be some people like, oh, you should have, asked 3-4 more times. And like, yeah, that, maybe it would have worked, maybe it wouldn't. But it's not really my vibe. And maybe it's cost me some meetings, but I think that it's also helped me out with being able to book meetings maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the road and, kind of build relationships with people. And that's more about my vibe. So I'll send her a follow-up email. I'll try to connect with her on LinkedIn and, stay engaged those ways and kind of keep my name, out there somehow and just kind of try my best to nurture the relationship and hope something comes out of it.
For sure. Yeah. And I do think that like there are a lot of prospects who also don't like pushy people. So I definitely think that there's like a middle ground of like, asking several times and not like giving up super quickly, but also not being pushy. But then I think that there are certain prospects that are a lot more sensitive where it's like it does kind of work in your favor to just, let them go. And then it's like when you call them back 2 weeks later, they're like, oh yeah, like let's meet today. It's like perfect.
And I mean, we sell to sales and marketing people. Like they know more than anybody all the tricks that you could try, like they're seeing the same LinkedIn posts that are like, oh, you should say this or that or what, like, they're in the game as well. And so I don't know.
For sure.
Respect. I always loved selling how I wanted to sell. Like I'll just say, just be a homie. Like that's to that, right? I do think structure is great. That said, if it's not for you, just sell and figure it out and figure out what works for you as well.
Well, and I don't know. You hear people, and I think Tom says it, like your job, your goal is to start a conversation, and you get that conversation going, and you get them to realize that you're a human. I think more times than not, if I'm to reach back out in a couple of weeks, they're going to be more inclined to, pick up the phone and have that conversation with me, as opposed to, oh, that's the guy who was super pushy and asked me 14 times for the meeting, and not everybody's ready for a meeting. Like, we are just now starting to look at our process. You may not be ready right now, but in a month when they kind of have that data and they know, okay, this is an area that we need to improve, then they might be more ready. And think it's just understanding that not every single person needs what you have to offer, and that's okay.
And to figure out if they truly need it, even after getting a no, it's not by asking them more times.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they might
and-
truly need it, but like you gotta figure out how best to communicate and empathize with where they're at, so that they could trust you in telling them that there's another way that they're not seeing.
Yeah. And in this case, you know, she was fairly new. That's what she said. I've only been here for a couple months. And, you know, I asked her what are their conversion rates on inbound leads. And she's like, I don't know. That's what we're needing to figure out. And that's kind of the starting point. Like if you're already converting, you know, 80 to 90% of your inbound leads and it's not an issue, then you may not need us. But like if it's 30 to 40%, there's definitely some room for growth there. And it makes a whole lot more sense.
Do you have any collateral about lead conversions that you could leave them with? Like not Chili Piper. So like if it starts talking like that and you hear something like somebody new or figuring it out, that you could just say, hey, here's what we're seeing in the space, and educate them and help them.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few different things that say, you know, the average is companies are converting 20 to 30%. That's kind of the norm in the SaaS industry, is to convert that into inbound leads or to meetings. Sorry. And then on top of that, you kind of have the speed to lead, which Andy Paul made a great post about that, talking about how Salesforce said that if you got to somebody in 5 minutes as opposed to 30 minutes, your chances of booking that meeting go up 100 times, which is crazy. And so, I mean, you throw in immediately as opposed to 5 minutes, like, you know, and so like when I talk about like nurture and things like that, like it's usually like sending something like that maybe once a week, or, you know, like not trying to be annoying, but just, hey, here's this post by Andy Paul. What are your thoughts? And, you know, starting that conversation. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Awesome. Okay, so I know we have about 10 minutes left here. So let's go check out the other rooms and let's all meet back at the lobby at like 2:55. And then we can wrap up. Depending on, I feel like all the time when there's like a few minutes left of the show, someone always gets a pickup. So we're just gonna bounce around and see if anything's going on. But yeah, we'll meet back at the lobby in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
Where are we going? Where are we going now?
Let's check out Gavin and then Tom.
Cool.
Hey.
I just got slammed on a cold call.
Oh man, we missed it.
What a
Yeah,
good,
it's good.
what an awful
Sting's
minute.
good.
What was that?
What an awful miss.
I'm just gonna go check out Tom's room really quick, see if he's on my connect.
What's going on again?
Not too much. What's going on here?
Quiet. I was just listening to you talk to Aaron around, you know, taking some time to not have to push people on the phone all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just listening to that because I kind of slowed down on my connect rates.
Nice. What are your thoughts about asking people for the meeting or trying not to be too pitchy?
I think you should just be consulting, right? Coming with a curiosity approach, seek to understand. One of my favorite questions, you know, when I open up is, you know, what are your challenges with outbound and what have you done thus far to tackle those? Because it lets me know if there's really priority here. Because again, you're trying to take something from nothing and force it. And people don't like that, right? Like, don't call me and tell me what I should be doing, how I should be doing things. That's why I carry a lot of unsure tone when is this something you're dealing with, Adriana? Is that where you're at? You know, it's not me, like, clearly I know, right? I called you with purpose, but I think you shouldn't have to ask for the meeting. Jason Day preaches about this. We had a podcast episode around you can actually cold call without asking for a meeting. Wild. You know, people are like, whoa. But it's like, you know, like Aaron said, it's sales development. Like somebody said in the comments, and what Aaron was talking about, it's got to develop. It's not always it's not a no, it's just a not right now.
Yeah.
Leave them with some resources, try to say, hey, I'll give you a call back. And sometimes just cold call somebody without the intent to have a meeting, right? Just call and say, hey, I saw an article I wanted to share your way. You really want to pattern disrupt? Call them without trying to book the meeting and just say, hey, Adriana, I was giving you a call. I'd seen your poster on this. I'm going to shoot you an email, but I just wanted to like give it on the phone. I've been dealing with some spam issues. So just want to let you know I'm going to send it over, but how's your day?
Mm-hmm.
And then just be like, cool, I'll talk to you soon, right? People would be like, whoa, did I just get a cold call that like was just telling me they were going to send me something or just had a quick question and then kind of let me go?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to get a meeting every time. And it takes time. So I agree. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian. Tom Slocum over at the SD Lab. How have you been?
Good. I'm expecting another call, so I can't.
I'll
right now.
super brief. Yeah, super brief. I was just calling.
I can't share right now.
All right, sounds good. And he hung up. There you go. Busy. True busy. So there's that, right? Is they were just busy. You can't do much more. Some other SDR might double tap that, right? And be like, let me call them back. And it's like, it's okay. Just move on. There's plenty of other people to talk to.
For sure.
I tried to overcome it, but he was like, nah.
When I'm getting sold hard and people just keep following up with me, the same thing, I like them less every time.
Yep.
Personally, I hate that. Like, I hated it when I was a property manager and I would get cold calls all day. I don't like it now. Like, if I walk into a store and someone's like, hello, like, how can I help you? Please buy something. I'm like, no one likes that, So
if you know like the only time you like that is you're like, I'm looking for boot ABC in size 7. Or you're like, I'm between this and this. What's your opinion? Or you have a distinct need and you're in there. If you're just casually browsing,
No. Yeah. And that's like if you worked in retail before, right? You had to work the floor, you had to work the room. And, I worked at Tilly's back in the day. Like I did the whole thing. And it was an interesting time, right? To understand that let people shop, let people do their thing. You don't have to, you can just call, just chat, or you'd walk up to that person and say, is there anything I can help you with? Are you looking for anything specific? And then just kind of cruise around. You didn't just stay attached to their hip. And every time they pick something up, be like, oh, is that what you want? Let's go to the register. Come with me.
I have a shirt that matches.
Yeah. And you're like, whoa, chill out, man. I'm just browsing. I'm just here to hang out. And that's why, seek to understand in all your calls. That's what I say is just kind of find out. Open up the call with just some discovery, have a discussion, and then find your in. And if there isn't an in, that's okay. Right?
For sure. Alrighty. So I think we're going to all head back to the lobby. Let me just let Gavin know because I don't think we told him.
All right.
Hello. We are heading back.
Hey, Sharon, it's Gavin DeWitt. You got a minute?
I'm sorry, who is this?
It's Gavin DeWitt.
Okay.
So that's the one time where you just want to hang up on a prospect because your list is outdated. Homegirl is retired, so there's nothing really she can do for me. So,
oh my gosh,
you gotta do what you gotta do. Sweet soul though.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I think we're gonna all head back to the lobby,
Okay.
and then just wrap up.
It's all good. I'll shoot her.
Gavin just hung up on a prospect.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
She was retired. It was okay.
Yeah, my list was a little outdated, and she's been retired for 7 months. So,
hey, 7 months. That's still fresh. That was still fair enough.
So, Sharon, do you want to come back to work and evaluate Rattle, or how
I had a lady scaling back her company, and I tried every. I was like, "Oh, are you gonna go make some reiterations and come back?" She's like, "No, Tom, the business is gone. Like I'm shutting it down." And I was like, "All right, no, yeah,
good for you, girl."
Yeah, right.
So you want to evaluate?
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Just want to wrap up with you guys mentioning how many dials you made, if you got any connects, and if you set any meetings today. Aaron, you're first on my screen.
Yeah, it looks like I had 39 dials, one connect, and a follow up.
Mhm.
Possibly, we'll see. It was a
Awesome.
good conversation. So we'll see.
For sure. Tom?
240 dials,
my
9
goodness.
conversations, no meetings, just some striking out with some data and some people picking up as soon as they answered. But yeah, no meetings, 9 conversations, 240 dials.
Awesome. And Gavin?
So this is actually kind of out of the norm for me. Had 259 dials, only 9 conversations out of that, and 0 meetings. Typically, my numbers are like 140. So I don't know how it's doubled. That's crazy to me. But it's like 140 an hour, and I get like 14 to 16 conversations.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just today.
Yeah.
Today was a data day.
Some
Oh,
days
today
are
was a data day.
exactly.
Apparently, I need a dialer.
Yeah.
We talked about this, Aaron. We talked about this. I've already talked to Joey. Like, this has got to happen for the SDR team because 240 dials in 1 hour, like me and Gavin. Like, people do that all day. That's
What do you use?
Not even that. I go between Connect and Sell and Monster Connect. So
Monster Connect.
Monster
Like
Connect,
Satan
Brad. I love that one. You just have to schedule in advance your session and actually get on the books for that one. Where Connected so you could just fire up at any time. But both are incredible. It's just expensive. We talked about this offline. Like an SDR just hanging out there in the comments right now. You can't just go to these sites and be like, I'm going to try that today. They're $300,000 a year for a team. But they're really great. And there are a few.
But you get 5 times as many dials out of it.
Right. Usually when we do these, Adriana knows, like I'll do about 200 dials. I'll get like 1 to 2 meetings out of it. And like, that's my whole day's worth, right? I'm in a good spot where, other teams are doing that for 8 hours. Like you made how many dials, Aaron? 40, 30?
Yeah, I made 40, which is pretty decent in sales ops for 40 minutes.
For real. That's like when you see an NBA team put up 40 points in the first quarter. You're like, whoa, usually it's like 25 to 30 and you put up 40.
For sure.
That's crazy.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for calling with us today. It has been awesome. Thank you everyone for watching our cold call stream. We are here every single week, cold calling with you guys. If you are not already a member of RevGenius, go to RevGenius.com. We are a totally free community that does events every single week. We also have a Slack forum that you can join and hang out with us in there. So that is RevGenius.com if you want to check it out. It's totally free. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's definitely free. So you should go there. But we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being here.
Shout out to Team Flow.
Yes. Shout out to Team Flow for this virtual sales floor. That is super, super awesome. We love them.
Thank you all for coming and see you next week. Bye.